He doesn't make anybody want to hang out with anyone else.
Wait, he's got his...
I think there's got to be a limit to the extent to which you blame J.D. Vance for everything.
I agree.
No, there's some sweet spot. There's no limit.
I think you hurt the cause when you look like you actually have Trump derangement syndrome. I do.
I didn't mention Trump. But you mentioned the manosphere and the left-wing hippies with the purple hair. There's one other issue they're united on, their opposition to Iran. Because Trump has done something very, very unique. He has united the American public against Iran. And it's their opposition to Iran and to accelerating Iran and putting boots on the ground.
Bill Maher recently had a guest on his show who clearly believed all the anti-Trump talking points. And things got heated right away. The guest blamed every big problem in the country on Trump. But Maher quickly stepped in to push back and share what he believed was the real story, using his usual sharp humor and quick wit. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump right into it.
What are your thoughts on news that eligible American men between ages 18 and 26 will now be automatically registered for a draft?
Very, very important and one of the most underreported stories that has started to circulate. And it's been accelerated by the fact that Trump says he won't take the draft off the table. But here's why it's important. It was passed by the GOP Congress and excludes women. Right? It would actually mandatorily enroll every man who turns 18 starting in December. Instead of going to the selective service and opting in, everybody will automatically enroll. I think it's very, very important to wake this country up to what the human cost of war looks like. And frankly, it's woken up the manosphere. Now all these podcasters think, oh shit, I might actually get drafted for the war in Iran. And it's forcing a conversation on this country that might not happen any other way.
But should we have a draft?
No.
No.
Hell no.
Well, we should have national service.
I would argue, not for this. Not for
We
this.
should have national service, but not a draft.
Okay.
Now this part sets the stage for everything that's about to happen. And the background here really matters. The guest you just heard is Paul Rieckhoff. He calls himself an independent thinker, but many people believe his dislike for Trump runs very deep. He proudly wears the independent label, yet almost every opinion he shares seems to go against anything connected to Trump. At the end of that clip, you can hear him criticize Trump's idea of requiring young Americans between the ages of 18 and 26 to serve in the military. That's where he starts making his case. He's making his position clear right from the beginning. But this is where things start to get interesting, because that was only the beginning. From here, watch Rieckhoff launch into a full anti-Trump rant, describing one bad situation after another. Then get ready, because Maher's response is something you probably won't expect.
Okay, but why shouldn't the pain be spread around?
I agree with that 100%. But also keep in mind, this legislation excludes women. It is very much a GOP culture war initiative that has excluded women from maybe the most basic area of equality. Women should have the right to fight and die and serve for their country as well.
Okay.
But they have removed that from this, which is really important. Yeah.
There's always a lot of talk in this country when it's the sacrifice is the issue about, remember during COVID, we're all in it together. We weren't all in it together. Half the people were in their pajamas eating food that was being delivered by other people. Somehow that food got to your door. If it was really that big of an emergency, shouldn't we have all taken a turn at Grubhub?
Agree.
Wouldn't that have been the real way to do it? You know, these are the same people who talk about, the stolen land, like you're going to give it back.
This is the moment when Maher takes things to a whole new level. He starts calling out what he sees as the hypocrisy on his own side, while also setting Paul Rieckhoff up for a serious comeback. Rieckhoff tries to score easy points by criticizing Republicans for not including women in the proposed military draft. It's a common move meant to pull Maher into attacking Republicans too. But Maher doesn't fall for it. Instead, he changes the focus and points right back at the left. He criticizes people on his own side for breaking COVID rules while expecting everyone else to follow those same rules without question. Then he goes after the left's habit of giving land acknowledgement speeches, saying they are all about putting on a show instead of making a real difference. Rieckhoff came into the conversation expecting Maher to agree with him. Instead, he found someone who wasn't interested in taking sides just because of politics. If I were Paul at that moment, I'd probably be thinking about making a quiet exit. But don't go anywhere, because what happens next is even better.
But there's a generation of chicken hawks that want to send other people's kids to die, and the president most of all. Barron Trump is not signing up to go to Iran.
Okay.
And that's important.
Final question for panel. What are the panel's thoughts on Kamala Harris saying she's considering a run in 2028? That might be against your brother who might be running, right? Isn't Rahm Emanuel? He's on the show next week, isn't he?
You can ask him directly. I only know the rumors, but it's...
Really? You don't talk to your own brother about it?
I talk to my brother all the time. We talk about our children, our grand... No,
Kamala,
I think
28?
Kamala had her shot off the stage, let others take their opportunities. She showed that she really didn't have a lot of programs or a good campaign.
Maher believes this is exactly the problem. Kamala Harris had her chance, and it didn't work out. She led the Democrats through one of their toughest election losses in recent years, even with strong support, plenty of excitement, and lots of resources behind her. Looking ahead to 2028, the numbers don't seem to support another run. The excitement just isn't there, and many people in the party know it. The Democratic Party would probably be better off moving on and starting the search for a new candidate who has a real chance of winning. They need someone who can truly connect with working-class Americans without sounding like they're giving a lecture about identity politics. But that brings up a difficult question that many Democratic strategists are asking right now. Who would that person be? When you look at the names being talked about as possible candidates, the choices quickly start looking weak. Many of the best-known names are strongly connected to woke politics, and many people believe that message has struggled in important swing states. If the Democrats choose one of those candidates to run against J.D. Vance or whoever the Republicans eventually pick, some believe it could give Republicans another big election.
The fertility rate in the U.S. has been declining since 2007. What do you think is driving this downward trend? This is for you, doctor.
Well, we know it's been declining also.
Well, I would
right?
guess there was a connection, sure. I'm not a formal doctor, but
But you pretend to be one. No, look, we have multiple social factors. It's super expensive to have kids and to raise kids.
Yes.
Women have a lot more opportunities,
Yes.
and they're realizing those opportunities, and we've made it hard. Look, try to get a kid into daycare, and then try to pay the bill for daycare, and then imagine paying the bill for college.
We've
made it very difficult.
I'm there in that hell,
I fortunately don't have to imagine any of that.
I need an AI to help me with that. I blame J.D. Vance for all of it.
Think about that for a second. Birth rates have been dropping across Western countries for many years. It's a long-running and complicated problem caused by things like money struggles, changing values, high housing costs, and uncertainty about the future. But Paul Riehoff has a very different answer. He puts the blame directly on J.D. Vance. Yes, J.D. Vance, a man who has only been vice president for a few months. And somehow, he's supposed to be the reason Americans are having fewer children. At first, you might think it's a joke. It sounds like the kind of comment someone would make just to get a laugh from the audience. Surely no one would seriously say something like that on national television with a straight face. But here's the surprising part. Riehoff isn't joking at all. He's completely serious. And what he says next takes the conversation to a place that is both confusing and eye-opening. Stay with us, because this is where everything goes completely off the rails. And Maher's reaction says it all.
He doesn't make anybody want to hang out with anyone else.
Wait, he's got his...
I think there's got to be a limit to the extent to which you blame J.D. Vance for everything.
I agree. You know,
There's some sweet spot. There's no limit.
I think you hurt the cause when you do look like you actually have Trump derangement syndrome. I did.
I didn't mention Trump.
And just like that, the whole room changes. You can feel the mood shift right away. Even the other people on the panel, who aren't strong conservatives, seem like they've had enough. Their patience is gone. The eye rolls are easy to see now. It's clear Paul Riehoff has worn everyone out, and everyone on that stage knows it. Now take a step back for a second, because this brings up a big question. How can someone who calls himself an independent have so much anger toward just two people? At what point does non-stop criticism of Trump and Vance stop looking fair and start feeling personal? When you blame falling birth rates, military problems, and nearly every other issue in the country on the same two men, you're not really making an argument anymore. You're just letting out your anger. Rioff didn't come there to have a real debate. He came to put on a show. And in the end, that's why many people see it as hypocrisy.
But also, get a life. Stop making him your whole personality. Thank you. You know, in meditation, not that I really do it, but I'm gonna start. But I know they say when you're trying to clear your mind, but thoughts rush in, don't fight them. Just let them pass like a cloud. Well, maybe that's what we should do with some of Trump's stupid stuff. He took a 747 as a gift? That's not cool. Oh, well. The top military guy is a big drunk? Well, so is Ulysses S. Grant.
And there it is, the moment that cuts through all the noise and hits with sharp precision. Maher isn't just making a smart joke here. He's giving honest advice, clear and direct, aimed right at Paul Rioff with no confusion at all. Stop building your whole life around Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Full stop. Because that's exactly what Rico has been doing this entire segment, acting like these two men are the center of his world. Every policy sets him off. Every decision sends him into a spiral. Every headline feels like another fresh wound. That is not real political discussion. That is unhealthy obsession, just dressed up as activism. Maher, to his credit, sees it clearly and says it plainly. Get a life. Find new interests. Gain some perspective. Because when two politicians are living in your head rent-free to the point where you're blaming them for birth rates, something has clearly gone very wrong. The audience laughs, but Maher means every single word he says. And just when it feels like the moment can't get any more unexpected, the conversation suddenly shifts with a comment about naming the Kennedy Center after wait. What?
He's naming the Kennedy Center after... Wait, what? He's naming the Kennedy Center after his wife? That's kind of sweet. Wasn't it a law that he had to sell TikTok? Yes, it was. It was. It was absolutely a law that he had to sell TikTok. But you know what? With this administration, you have to triage your outrage. So please, when I'm out there, no more Bill, did you see what he did today? If you don't even have to say who he is, you already lost.
This is Maher at his most grounded and honestly his most thoughtful. He pulls away all the political noise and gives a reminder that sounds simple, but hits hard. Not everything in life needs to take over your mind. Not everything deserves your stress or sleepless nights. And he makes a point that's pretty hard to argue with at the end of the day. Politicians are mostly practical people. They plan, they negotiate, they adjust, and then they go home and sleep just fine. The same people whose decisions seem to upset Paul Rioff so much are not losing sleep over it at all. Trump isn't lying awake thinking about Paul's feelings. J.D. Vance isn't stressing over what a late-night panel said about him. So why is Paul? There's something almost sad about giving so much of your time and energy to people who don't return even a tiny part of that attention. Politicians play their role, and then they move on with their lives. And the real question Maher is really getting at is simple but personal. When did Paul forget to do that for himself?
Because he is already living too rent-free in your head.
And sadly, Maher is pointing to something very real here. Trump doesn't just live in the news. He ends up living in people's minds rent-free for a long time. And for a huge number of Americans who strongly oppose him, that habit of thinking has quietly become all-consuming. You hear stories everywhere, people breaking their TVs the moment he appears on screen, brothers and sisters stopping all communication because of voting choices, families falling apart at dinner tables, and friendships ending overnight just because of politics. Therapists have even given names to this kind of stress because the mental impact is real and easy to see. But here's the hard truth Maher is pushing people to think about. Trump didn't force his way into those minds. The door was already open, and he simply walked in. You can't say someone has no control over you while at the same time letting them affect your sleep, your relationships, and your peace of mind. That contradiction is something worth really thinking about.
Because, a guy came up to me the other day and he said, Bill, I know you're a guy who cares about health. You must be incensed that Bobby Kennedy took the dye out of Fruit Loops and now the whole administration is acting like they solved the health crisis. I'm not. I'm not incensed. I'm sure you're right. I just don't have room.
And that really is the main point of this whole exchange. Paul Riehoff came onto that stage showing a very specific type of mindset. Someone so caught up in opposition that they start losing clear thinking, honest debating, and even the ability to see their own contradictions. Maher, to his credit, didn't just go along with it. He pushed back even when it went against his own side, used his sharp humor to deliver some uncomfortable truths, and reminded everyone watching that obsession is not a political plan, it's a personal problem. Whether you like Trump or hate him, letting any one person take over your peace of mind, your relationships, and your everyday happiness is a losing situation. And with that, we come to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.